Today's untold story is Caden Trinkles, a freshman outfielder on the Cowboys baseball team, who just a week after our interview was named the Big 12's Newcomer of the Week, leading his team to a series sweep of UT Rio Grande Valley, going 7 for 10 at the plate with 2 home runs, 2 triples, and a team high of 6 RBIs. Let's slide ourselves into Caden's untold story. Hi, this is Avery London, and we're here with Caden Trinkle on the OSU baseball team on OSU Untold Sports. Hi, Caden.
How's it going?
Good, and you?
I'm doing pretty well.
So can you tell us a few things about your position and what you do for the team?
Well, right now I am our center fielder. Last year I hit in the 2-hole for us, so I'm assuming that might be the same this year, but my role on the team is basically just the guy that gets on base for our bigger guys to kind of hit in and score. So I'm the little guy that runs around the bases most of the time.
You're pretty fast then.
I try to be. When I would say probably 7 or 8, my family is a pretty big sports family, so I was one of those kids that kind of played everything growing up, and baseball is just kind of what I took to the most, and I just kind of fell in love with it and ran with it after watching it on TV so much and playing it so much.
Which of your competitors helped shape your game the most?
I would say probably just my teammates since I've been here at Oklahoma State, because during the fall in our preseason, we scrimmage each other so much, so we kind of get to see live pitching, and we have some really good pitchers on our team. So I would say probably those guys, because they're the ones that kind of push me and help me develop my skills the most out of anybody.
What are y'all daily workouts like?
It's kind of changed since COVID has hit, because we have to stay a little more separated than we like to be. But since COVID, I would say we probably kind of break it up into segments during normal practice. So we have our little individual position groups that we do defensive work with, and then we kind of come together and hit batting practice as a team. And then if it's a scrimmage day, then we'll play 6 or 7 innings of a scrimmage collectively as a team. And then on our shorter days, we call them skill days. We'll just come in at certain times with our different position groups and just do whatever the coaches need us to do.
Yeah, COVID kind of put a certain practice styles for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit of adjustment has to be made.
Do you have any personal pregame rituals that you do?
I wouldn't say I have any pregame rituals. I just kind of do whatever it takes for me to stay loose, because I don't really like to think about the game all that much until I'm actually in it. So I just do whatever in the locker room, around the field, and to stay loose. And then once I'm actually in game, I just kind of focus up and play.
Who is your number one influence in life?
My number one influence would definitely have to be my parents. They're the people that raised me and taught me on my values and beliefs, and they've kind of installed this kind of worth ethic in me. And I would say my parents are the people that kind of made me who I am, so I would say they're probably my biggest influence.
How did you adjust from a city like Hillsborough to a small college town like Stillwater?
Well, Hillsborough itself is not really a big town. I think we only have maybe 12,000 people. So Stillwater is actually a little bit bigger town than my hometown, but it wasn't really that big of an adjustment because I lived so close to Waco, and that's just a big city. So I've kind of been back and forth, and Stillwater is just another college town that I've been to. So it wasn't really a big adjustment for the town, I would say, just more so like the college and all that kind of stuff.
So how was the transition from high school baseball to college baseball?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a lot better because, like I said, I didn't really go to a big high school or big town, so my competition level wasn't really as high as it is here, obviously. So the game definitely speeds up a lot. You have to kind of calm yourself down, calm your nerves, and develop more gradually than you think you would. So I would just speeding the game up a little bit is the biggest difference.
So do you have any specific person or people that you like to listen to during pregame or on the way to an away series?
You talking like music wise or?
Music, podcasts, TV shows, anything?
Not really, to be honest. I just kind of, whatever mood I am, just kind of dictates what I do in that moment. So if I'm in a really energetic mood, I kind of listen to some faster music. If I'm like in I call it a chill vibes kind of mood, I kind of listen to like some country music or something like that just to relax me a little bit. So no one really specific, just kind of depends on the mood I'm in at that moment.
If you played any other sport, what would it be?
Definitely basketball. I'm not a big guy, but I'm in a basketball family. My dad's a college basketball coach. So it would definitely, I think for him, it would have to be basketball for sure.
What is the biggest thing you've had to overcome since being at OSU?
I would say probably my eyesight. I don't have any depth perception in my eyes, and baseball is literally the worst sport you can play if you don't have any depth perception. So whenever I first got here, I had to get contacts after the first 4 games because I couldn't really see the ball. So it's definitely.
What's the best lesson that baseball has taught you?
It's a game of failure. So I would say being patient and just continuing to work, knowing that your work is eventually going to pay off. Because it can definitely be a frustrating game. So it takes a lot of patience and hard work. So it's definitely got to be those 2 things, just because I'm not a very patient person, to be honest. So patience is something that I have to learn through baseball.
So a big part of being a college athlete is being a college student and juggling the 2. What's your major, and how does the workload and your schoolwork affect your playing?
Yeah, I'm a sports management major. I kind of chose something that had to do with sports just because I'm a big sports person. But it's not really, I mean, last year it was kind of an adjustment, just having to do both and having more hours of the day at the field. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily that hard. I just make sure I set time aside each day to get my schoolwork done. So I probably, like today, I woke up, I would say around 9-ish, did a little bit of homework before this, and then I'll go to the field right after I'm done. And then once I'm done at the field, I'll come home, do a little bit more homework, and that's pretty much my day each day.
Well, yeah, with COVID, everything's online. So.
Yeah.
What is your favorite memory that baseball has given you?
This is always a hard question to answer because I have so many good ones, so I'm not really sure which one to pick. But I would have to say, I don't know, probably just being able to come here. Like last year, it wasn't a long season, but being able to grow as a team and be able to play here at Oklahoma State, it was one of the greatest memories I'll have, being able to come in as a freshman especially. So I was kind of nervous coming in and then just having to work everything away, you know what I mean? So my biggest baseball memory would just be coming here last year, being able to play even though it was a shortened season.
How has your time at OSU prepared you for your future thus far?
Well, my coaches and teammates, or all the people around me have really helped me mature a lot as a person, not only as a baseball player, but also as a person. So being able to mature and kind of develop myself as a person more than anything is, I think, was going to help me the most, because it's helped teach me a lot more responsibility and making sure I have everything done that I have in my day. So it's kind of helped me kind of set goals and be proactive and not just kind of be lazy or procrastinate with everything I do.
Speaking of goals, what are your ultimate goals for the season? Personal goals and team goals?
You said for the season?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ultimate goal is definitely win a national championship. That's the biggest thing I want to do while I'm here, just bring one back to Stillwater. And I would say just win the Big 12 as well. We have a really good team this year, and I think we have a really good chance to do that. So winning the Big 12 is definitely in our future. And personally, I just want to have a good year, just do whatever I can to help the team in whatever way, whether it be defensively or offensively. I'm just going to do what I can, play well and have a good year.
What are some of the skills that you work on personally to accomplish those goals?
I spend a lot of time in the batting cages, a lot of swing mechanics, because I said baseball is a very hard sport, so you kind of have to constantly make adjustments in what you do. So I spend a lot of time in the cages, just kind of trying to figure out little mechanical things that I need to fix. And then also defensively, I do a lot of outfield work and throwing to make sure that my mechanics in the outfield are doing well too. So just a lot of mechanical stuff. And then also a mental part of the game is really big too. So I just kind of focus on the mind a little bit.
Well, those are all the questions that I have for you today.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.